That's our responsibility.
That's what it says in the lease.
So why are you going to tell the building?
Because you can watch them come in. They're not coming. They're not generating. Yeah, right. We're not making the mice.
Yeah.
Anyways, I don't know if I want to leave that part in.
Why?
Because then I'm going to get mice advice.
Oh, you're going to get so much mice advice.
I get all this fucking advice from people, which, I'll clarify, the cable issue I've resolved. So please don't fucking email me.
Yeah.
Did they email you?
He did it on his own.
Oh, yeah.
No thanks to any of you.
Why does your email out there? My email's out there. I just got an email from a guy who's like, never mind, you're a spawn of Satan. And then that was it. That was the whole email.
Yeah. Well, people get annoyed with
me. From
a
random or a man you dated?
A random.
Oh, wow.
I'm like the classic, like, fucking GED guy that's like, I can fucking do that. And what, brain surgery? I got this shit, you know? Mm-hmm. And then, but like, so there's a lot of things I'll just be like, yeah, this is easy. I'll do it myself. And then I'd burn the house down. But that's also the people I've attracted as an audience. So they're like, he doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. I'm going to tell him what to do. And then I'm like, okay, what do I do? And then they're like Googling. And then they're like, maybe this. And it's like, so you're the same guy as me. You're just 2 days behind me in the, I'll figure it out myself.
Don't say that. Don't say that.
Okay.
You're giving them hope.
No.
Yes, you are.
This is what I had to tell you. A guy that I met in Rhode Island, very tall, skinny, weird dude, black. He was talking about you.
Slender man.
Made me. He was like, got this close to me, 2 inches from my face, and was like, "Tell me how tall Adam is." And I was like, "Oh no." He said, "Tell me how tall Nick is." And I was like, "This one." He was like, "Okay, then how tall is Adam?" Adam is this big, and like went way shorter. And I was like, "No,
I'm taller than
And
that.
then I mean, he made me talk about it with him for like he was like fully convinced. Mm-hmm. And then at one point, he was like, "On the podcast, you said that you used to work a 9 to 5 and you get tired out, and now you do an hour of comedy and you get tired out." And then he, with like one smooth motion, whipped his shoe off, slammed it on the table in front of me so hard, and was like, "Take a walk in my N-word shoes."
What?
Yeah, this whole thing. It was crazy. He was nuts. I mean, I kind of liked him.
Fucked him?
I still. Oh yeah, he was a black. Are you kidding me?
That's sick.
You got to do it.
That's great.
Yeah, there's a lot of freaks out there.
There are a lot of sickos.
I've only met nice fans. He was cool.
They're all nice.
They're all really nice.
And I don't think maybe it's just that every club you work, the manager will say like, "Oh, the people that came out to your show, they were like very courteous and nice," as opposed to, I guess, if you have Joe Coy's audience, it's famously, they're all racist bikers. Joe Coy's famous racist biker audience.
The biggest comedian in America.
Yeah. I have a lot of women who are convinced that they can turn me. That's happened.
Lesbies. Mm-hmm. That's cool. Like
it's a nightmare. Women are terrifying when they're drunk and they're coming onto you. They'll just touch all of your body parts at once. Somehow they're like, it's like claustrophobic. She'll be like, "Oh my God, I love your shirt," and you're like, "You want to take it off?" And be like, "Just take it. You can have it. Go away."
So you take your shirt off for these lesbians?
Well, they're grabby. Do you guys deal with that? I mean, it's constant.
Yeah, lesbians are constantly grabbing me.
It's not. They're bisexual women.
No, they're like.
I have this theory that all bisexual women are ugly and they're just taking whatever they can get. You know what I mean?
Is this an Ian bit?
No. Oh shit!
I'm just
Ian
kidding.
is bisexual.
That's not his bit anyway.
I think Ian's just gay. That's my theory on Ian.
Yeah,
I want him to.
He's a New York comedian gay.
Yeah, totally.
Where they just have sex with trans women.
Yeah.
And then before they even had a name, when it just used to be, like somebody that went to Europe to get surgery.
Yeah,
No, they don't go to Europe. They go to Thailand or South America.
Wherever.
Yeah.
Because I feel like his spectrum, he'll date men, he'll date trans women, but the women that he dates are so feminine that they're almost not a woman. You know what I mean? Like they're just a doll. And the idea of like period sex to him, he's like, fuck no. You know
when
what I mean?
Ian pulls sushi, he does all right.
Yeah, totally.
He does
great.
okay.
Yeah.
Well, he's got nothing to lose.
Exactly.
He can just go out and fuck a guy. If a woman rejects him, he'll be like, "Fine, I'll just go get AIDS."
Right. It's like how your girlfriend's.
Pardon me. I have to go to the bathroom. I have to make a little trip to the bathroom to deal with this rejection.
Well, it's like how your girlfriend's gay friend just grabs her tits in front of you, right? It's like, oh my God, sweetie, your tits look incredible. And they like palms it. But that's Ian's strategy in general. Basically.
Yeah. I just think people are like, he can't be that gay because the women he dates are like these Barbie dolls. And I'm like, no, that's because he's gay and repulsed by women that he has to date.
He's
toys.
also very confident. One of the funniest nights of my life, I was hanging out, me and Stav and I don't know, there's a couple other comics. We all went out to dinner. I think Evan Williams was there, maybe. And we all went to some diner near the old stand. And Ian starts talking about how he's a handsome guy. And me and Stav are like, on a scale of 1 to 10, where do you put yourself? He's like, I don't know, like 8, 9 or something.
Yeah, he's very confident.
And we're
That's
like,
so
Ian,
funny.
you're one of the ugliest people I've ever seen in my life. You look like the entire band Toto went into the machine from The Fly. And like that's what came out.
No, I get it. I was looking at him today in the podcast. I was like, I can see it. There is I mean, he's like a brother at this point, so it's a little gross, but I can see he's got a stockiness. He has the barrel chested thing. That's good. You know what I mean?
No, I don't know. I wouldn't fuck Ian.
But I do think it's the confidence. If he didn't have
It
confidence.
is the confidence.
But that's how all male comics are.
Yeah.
I'm very confident.
Unfuckable except for the confidence.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Really carries them through.
Mm-hmm.
interesting.
So you think all guys are male comedians are unfuckable?
Yeah, pretty much.
I agree.
I was watching Mike Racine's old late night.
He used to be a hot guy.
He's a really hot guy.
Yeah,
Is
he
it-
looks like Wario now.
Yeah.
He's gotten more Italian.
Something's going on. He keeps texting me and be like, you want to go to the gym? And I'm like, no, I'm not ever going to do that with you. That's the last thing I ever want to do.
Me and him are on the road together all the time. We'll hit that hotel gym. And
Yeah.
it's just like, what are we even fucking doing here?
He
We
seems
got
like he
more
belongs there.
exercise in the elevator, like on the way to the hotel gym.
Isn't it weird that he's just out in the world right now, like existing? Like the fact that, you know what I mean? Like he just wakes up every day and is like, I'm going to be this guy again.
Yeah.
Wait, did Ian kill that podcast that we did? He buried the episode of being Ian.
Did he because the kid was walking around?
I haven't seen it released. I think he should. I think it was incredibly bad.
That must be in the Patreon.
Didn't
I have
he
no
get-
idea.
That was the one he called a dystopian nightmare.
Oh, damn.
Well, because Racine the whole time was
Racine
talking to
brought
his
his
kid and being
baby.
like, don't
Yeah.
do that. And you're like, your baby doesn't speak
Yeah.
English yet, dude.
That's one of the best Ian quotes of all time.
What?
A dystopian nightmare.
The episode was bad. He texts Adam and he goes, I'm sorry for the dystopian nightmare. I guess he heard the words dystopian nightmare. And he's
Yeah.
like, I'm just going to say this.
He thought it was like a Philip K. Dick novel.
That's the other thing comedians do. Is they'll all at the same time get hooked on some expression that
They don't
none of
understand.
them will check.
Yeah.
They'll just and
Totally.
I've made this point before, but there was a while where a bunch of comics kept saying, "Oh, that's a real Sophie's choice,"
Oh, yeah, totally.
and then they're just describing any decision.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
They're
they
like
do.
almond milk or oat milk. That's a real Sophie's choice. It's like, no,
I'm
it's
trying to
just a
think of the
choice.
zeitgeist thing that's happening now.
Inside baseball was the thing they were all saying
That was
for a
the
while.
thing, yeah.
Matter was a word that would be like, you don't, like Louis would always say, like, because you don't matter or something like that. And people started using that all the time.
Yeah.
I just want to matter.
Yeah.
Mhm.
What's another one? Twice last night I heard people talking about black people in commercials.
On stage?
Yeah. On
I've
stage.
been doing that.
You've been talking about that?
Well, about how that was the only impact of George Floyd.
It
Is
said
that-
there's more
Oh,
black
yeah,
people
yeah,
in
yeah. Is
commercials.
this
Yeah.
the State Farm guy?
Well, it's like
We're hiding them from the police
It's
in
like-
commercials.
Tyrone and Wang are trying to find the right banking solutions for their family.
yeah, totally.
That's kind of the only thing that's changed.
I know. I was talking to my mom about that. She was just in town. I was talking about how it just changed the lives of like a few actors, and that was it. That's all that happened.
But the punchline is, and I'll just burn this bit because it's not very good, but the punchline is, and if George saw that, he would have been so happy, you know?
He
Yeah.
probably would have been. He strikes me as the kind of guy that would be pleased by
By
Yeah.
a lot of stuff.
That would see black people in a McDonald's commercial and be like, "Let's go."
I'm sure the first time George Floyd saw like a big mouth Billy Bass, he was like, "This is great."
Yeah, totally.
Yeah,
I
he
saw
seems
his
like a guy that would be
pornography.
wowed by that.
After he died, I went on X videos, and his porn was like
Oh right, I
all
forgot
over.
about that.
It was all over the front page, and it's like "Rest in Power, George Floyd." Say his name, George Floyd. Yeah,
Yeah, a lot of free advertising.
He was
Pornhub got like
It would
free.
be so funny to fuck a dude and be like, say his name. And they're like, what? Say who? Your name? No, say George Floyd's
You know, there was
name.
a guy at the marketing team at fucking Pornhub when their numbers were going up after the George Floyd thing. That was like, guys, we got to use this. We got to figure out a way to let people know we have the George Floyd pornography.
Well, I don't want to.
And they're like, Eric, no.
Wait, I'm sorry. Is there actually George Floyd?
Yeah.
No, there is not.
When,
Yeah,
like during
it
the
was.
interview part of the beginning, they're like, "What's your name?" And he's like, "Floyd, the landlord." Or something.
Because that was the thing the conservatives would go after him for. Sean Hannity was like,
Fentanyl.
and he's a slut. He died of fentanyl, and he's a whore.
Yeah, but I don't want to speak ill of the dead, but he did, if I remember correctly, have a difficult time maintaining an erection.
Yeah, what's all that fucking fentanyl in his
It
system?
was all that. It was all that.
Maybe we should put his dick in a chokehold.
Yeah.
Put a little triangle lock on his cock. You know,
That's sad.
something that maybe if Derek had been there to help out.
Kneel on his
Jack him
dick.
up.
Yeah, hey
To
Derek,
fluff
kneel
it.
on this.
Wow.
How do you think he's doing in jail?
Derek?
Mhm.
Oh, he's de Bella de Ball.
I just imagine just a room with him and Subway Jared playing Settlers of Catan, trying to keep to themselves.
Shavin is wearing a hoop dress.
Mm-hmm.
He looks like a little Bo Peep.
Mm-hmm.
And his boyfriend is the head of the Muslim Brotherhood.
Have you guys been to jail?
No,
Oh God, I really don't want to.
mm-hmm.
I'm just thinking about
It
that.
sounds terrible.
There's still time. It's weird to think about that you could just
I
go to
really
jail.
don't want to go.
I've been to jail, and I was
How long?
You're like 3 years.
no, like 36 hours.
Oh,
Wow,
I thought you were about to
that's
say
so-
months. I was like,
No,
damn.
no.
36 hours? That's so long.
Yeah, I was thinking about how when you have to call to get out, but the phone tells the person you're calling, like they're
Oh,
like,
this is a call from blank correctional facility.
yeah.
It's cool when guys do freestyles on mixtapes.
Oh yeah.
They leave that in.
But I was thinking about how fucked up that is. Like, it's not a right to a call. You're not giving me a normal phone. I'm narked on immediately by a robot. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
What, you want to lie to the person and be like, yo, I'm just chilling. I'm not.
I would
okay."
like the
It should
first
say this
words.
is Publishers Clearinghouse.
Yeah,
No, it should say,
totally.
please,
$1 million.
please save me. Please save me right now.
I
would
wanted to.
fucking cry. I would be crying the entire time. I would be such a bitch.
I did cry as soon as my mom picked up the phone. She was laughing hysterically, and I was crying.
Also, like, imagine getting 6 months. That would be so long to
Yeah.
be in jail.
I had a friend,
And that's a light
I had a friend that
sentence.
would go to jail all the time for long stretches, like 18 months.
Yeah.
And he would get out and then play like catch up on like culture. And so like, it would just be like just way too late. He'd be like, have you seen Dan in real life?
You remember what Jamel was saying about his friend?
No.
His friend got out of jail, and at the bottom of like porn videos, it's like share this on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
And so he'd be like sharing porn at like 11 a.m. on a Tuesday on Facebook.
Right, because he didn't know how to use Facebook.
Yeah.
He didn't know what it was for.
And Jamel was like, you can't be doing that. Like,
Mhm.
it's very funny.
Hampton told me a funny story. He has a retarded French-Canadian cousin
Uh-huh.
who got on Facebook and was just posting pornography. Being like, oh, her boob is so good,
Oh my god!
And they're like, Claude Pierre, no, you can't do that. He's retarded
rules.
and French.
And they left it up. They just took one of my videos down for white trash.
Porn?
Post porn. Yeah.
You're on Pornhub?
No, on Facebook.
Oh, Facebook.
It's all owned by the same people.
Oh, white trash as a slur?
I called somebody white trash, but I also said I was white trash.
You can't say that anymore?
Can I really? Yeah, you can't. They took it down.
White trash?
They didn't even do the thing where they're like, this is a little bad. They took it fully off the internet.
Yeah, it's wild now how, I'm not going to get into like a censorship thing, but they've really just turned the internet into China.
It's crazy. Well, we were on TikTok, and then it's like, you're like, oh, you can't say shit on TikTok because it's China. And now Instagram does the same shit. You have to like bleep out swear words and stuff if you post videos. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's at a certain point, like when the smoke clears, if it does ever, like in 10 years, when people look back, the absurdity of not being able to go online and say like, I don't think the vaccines work.
Yeah, it's crazy.
You just can't say that.
What's really weird is they left up my video where I catcall Hasidic Jews, literally harassing.
Yeah,
Jews.
well, everyone hates
That's
that.
not funny.
They didn't take it down.
That is not
it's
funny.
so. It might not be funny, but it is.
It is so funny.
Very
funny.
fun.
It's so funny.
And they left up that got reported by 1 million Hasids, but then the white trash one went down in minutes. Isn't that weird?
During the early days when Nick was living in Chinatown, you did one of the funniest things I've ever seen.
What?
You cat called like an old Chinese man.
Oh.
Who's like wearing the pajamas, and you were like, "God damn, I will fuck the shit out of you."
I love the Chinatown. I like it when they're dressed up as the recycling bags that they're picking through. That's my favorite.
Yeah,
They
those
blend
guys
in.
rule.
Yeah.
I will fuck the shit
I
out
miss
of you.
living in Chinatown because there's some of them are real fun.
Yeah,
Some of
Yeah.
those guys are just like they're like, fuck it, I'm still in China, dude.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just act Chinese.
Yeah,
crazy.
most of them.
It's
Winnie
crazy.
the Pooh backpack and booty shorts. 63 years old.
It's
Yeah.
crazy when you hear some of them speak and they have full on New York accents. So
Yeah. Well, there is that there is that
speak
blend
to them.
accent. Some of them have a Chinese
talk
New
to a
York
lot of them.
accent.
yeah,
So they're like, yeah, who wants to go to the fucking restaurant later? You know,
Yeah.
it's fucking
totally.
Yeah, yeah.
The guys that run the Chinatown
maybe
buses,
we'll go play mahjong under the fucking dry cleaner.
They always have like jade gold necklaces.
Yeah.
Those guys,
Those guys are fucking awesome.
like the
dude.
wigger Chinese
Yeah,
guys, they're the best.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the
Big
nail
ass
salon people have
aviators
that.
and
Yeah,
fishing
yeah.
vests.
Yeah, that's fire.
Yeah.
I love those guys. So Jordan, you just recently started fucking Chinese guys. You want to talk about that? I'm trying to get better at interviewing, so
I don't want the public to know about that. So if we could,
we can cut that.
thank you so much.
Okay.
I've never fucked a Chinese man. I've also never. I don't think I've ever had sex with a black man.
Really?
I don't think I have.
Not even that guy in Rhode Island? The one that was smelling you?
The
and
one who slammed
hitting
his
you with his
shoe
shoe?
on a table.
No, maybe I have. I think I
That guy
hooked up
sounds
with
like a
one.
real Don Juan DeMarco.
I should. I probably should, just so that I.
No, you shouldn't fuck that vagrant. That street.
No.
person.
But I should branch out a little bit. I only fuck people who look like me. I mean,
Really?
they're related to me. Yeah.
Oh
Totally.
my god.
Interesting.
Yeah. I'm also into incest porn.
Maybe
so it
that's
could
why
be-
you're into Ian now, because like you said, you led with he's like a
You
brother
don't look
to me.
like
Yeah, yeah.
Ian.
So it's probably just that.
Yeah, but there's this the disheveled aspect of the thing. Or Mike Rowland, my roommate. We look very similar. I haven't fucked him, but I will.
You will?
It'll happen.
Wow.
We'll send the girl over to let him know.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Yeah. What are you gonna do? You're gonna get like stuck under a table?
Jeff Asmus said he turned on his hinge off so was only black women. I thought that was interesting.
What do you
Only
mean turn? You can
yeah, you can
specify?
specify race.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
That seems weird.
I know it's
Especially
really
because the
fucking
dating
odd.
apps are the most like fucking like
I don't hate on that.
what
I mean, if
specifying
it's-
race.
Preference is preference.
I wonder if it's
So many people spend their whole lives not knowing what they want. If you figured it out,
Robert De Niro knows exactly what it
I
is.
bet it's
Exactly.
gay though. I bet it's like you can't make it so it's white only. You know what I mean? I bet it's like
Yeah.
you can only have it be.
But
You can't- you
if
can
you're
never-
a white man, you said it to Asian only. That's almost as bad as
yeah,
white
I
only.
guess so.
That's almost worse.
I think you can
If
do
you're like
it.
a only Asian women white guy, that's
Yeah.
like more.
I'm gonna look and see if you can do it. Let me see.
To set it to Asian guys.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and set it to Asian guys only.
Anytime I see an Asian guy,
Your
white
phone just starts overheating.
white girl, cup,
Just in-
All right, let's see settings. Age range, ethnicity. Holy shit!
wow, I didn't know that.
You can set it to Southeast Asian, Pacific Islander, Middle Eastern.
They gotta
Hispanic,
make
Latino.
India. They
You could
gotta.
do
India's gotta
Southeast
be its
Asia?
own goddamn continent. I'm tired of this fucking. This like what do you mean you know what I mean?
Oh, that we're Asian.
Yeah,
too.
we're also Asian. It's like the continent shit. Who cares? Continents don't have culture. It's just
Also,
like
that
some-
continent is way too big.
Yeah,
Yeah, Siberia. That's too much.
yeah. It's a product.
Siberia is too much.
It's a product of Eurocentrism that your Indians are considered Asian to begin with.
right. It's like we'll
Because
just
the British
throw
is
them all
like,
in.
well, it's lunchtime.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
we're done naming the continents. I don't think we need to do any more today.
You got the Heart of Darkness, Africa,
Yeah.
and then you have Asia.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why I'm doing Australia. It's late.
Because I think I started off doing Australian's more fun.
I'm such
That's
a
the problem.
copy.
You can
I'm
do
such a copy that I did Australian.
no. It's as a comedian.
That's embarrassing.
Everyone can do a British accent, but if you're trying to be funny, Australian comes out because it's like you're like, what's a stupid version of like a British accent?
I was just
And
talking.
it's like-
I had an audience member in the front row just now. Who's Australian, and every question I asked him, he'd go, "Not bad." Every time, and I
That's
became
cool.
violent with rage.
What are you doing here in New York? Not bad.
not bad.
Not bad, isn't it?
It's crazy. I think I become rageful around Australians. I just find them to be, they're like,
They are disgusting.
they don't have any, they don't contribute anything.
My
It's funny-
parents,
it's fun-
parents almost moved there instead of America.
An
Oh.
Australian accent makes you sound. I just assume you're an idiot if you have an Australian accent. Whereas if you have a British accent, you like. I'm like, oh, this guy's probably an author.
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, it's
until
probably William Shakespeare.
my old roommate Joe, he played rugby and he had all these rugby friends, and one of his friends was this British guy, and I hung out with him. I mean, we were drinking or whatever, but I hung out with him like a handful of times, and it took until like the 5th time. I'm like,
to realize he's retarded.
this guy's like a mental fucking invalid.
Yeah.
yeah,
You know,
totally.
He's like beyond, you know, I was like, what'd you do today? He's like, I don't, what, today you mean? You know?
Yeah, Colum is Irish, and I am everything. Anytime he says a word that's like more than one syllable, I'm like, "Good job, big boy."
I know. I think I've showed people, there's a clip of him doing stand-up from like 15 years ago or something, a long time ago. And he like had to learn the English language.
Yeah,
He just doesn't, like if you go look at older shit, he's just unintelligible.
yeah, but it's not like he's saying words. It's like even in even in you know what I,
Gaelic?
whatever. Yeah,
Does he
Gaelic.
speak Gaelic?
No, it's just like it's just like and then he'll be like,
Oh, he speaks Changillis?
yeah, he does.
Yeah,
have
that's
this-
part of the problem too, is he's learning English from people from
Right.
Philadelphia.
Yeah. He's learning Philly.
I mean,
That's
there's
so
one joke
funny.
where he uses the word velocity, and the entire audience erupts just because they're like, "Holy, we never could guess."
Velocity. Velocity. Well, how's he say it?
Velocity.
Velocity.
The velocity, like that.
Velocity.
They laugh at
No,
that.
you're still
Veloc-
Australian.
Velocity, mate.
Velocity.
Not bad.
Not bad. It's so
We were
funny.
laughing about a British moron recently. He just
That
got,
might be your finest work, Nick.
what do you mean?
Your characterization was also so good.
What do you mean?
You're like a Guy Ritchie character.
Because if you think about it, that's when you know a British guy's about to say
about
the
it.
dumbest fucking shit in the
If
world.
you think
If
about
you
it.
think about it, really. If you think about it, really.
Really?
Wee.
I'm British,
Oui, oui.
I'm Chinese, and I'm from the Lower East Side of New
I'm
York
Guy.
City. If I think about, you know, what we doing here. We're sitting around playing mahjong under a laundromat all day long.
Yeah.
We might as well be back in fucking China. You think they ever think that?
You think that.
You think they do?
In it.
In it? I got my me. Did you hear about this George Floyd fella? He was nicking quids at the drugstore. The coppers got him.
Why do we have no
That's what-
British people here? Why do we only have Australians everywhere?
What, in New York City?
Yeah.
We.
I don't know. There used to be that.
Well, it was because the visa program, because they support us in Iraq.
Real quick, I'll just say the words "mybookie,"
MyBookie.ag if you want to bet on shit.
and then we'll come back to it. But
Go to MyBookie.ag, promo code CUMTOWN or CUMTOWN20.
there was a British comedian named Tom something, who's a nice guy when I moved here. And I don't know if he's around anymore, but I remember he had a joke that made me laugh. And I don't know if he ever did it more than once. I just saw him do it in an open mic. But he's like talking about complaining about his wife being like, my body's saying that I have to have a baby, you know. And he's like, well, why are you listening to your fucking body? He's like, my body's telling me to fuck a 14-year-old.
Yeah, that's
That's
good.
funny.
That is good.
But it's never that will never do well with an audience.
Yeah, that's blue.
Well, I'm going to make comedians laugh, but looking at a grown man saying he wants to fuck a 14-year-old on stage is
It's a bit.
that's
no,
tough.
it can be done. It can be done. Remember when Louis did the whole
not maybe Louis did it, but not British Tom.
Did the whole used his power?
SNL thing about like obviously fucking kids is better, but we don't do it. I mean, it's like,
Oh yeah, he did it for the monologue, right?
it was really good. It was maybe his finest work.
Well, he took a gamble like you can
At mybookie.ag.
mybookie.ag.
Guys, we got a big sports season. NFL season is back. The NBA is coming back. You can go there. You can bet. You don't have to download an app. It's all online. You can use Bitcoin. They have casino, table games. You could bet on races. You could bet on Indian.
You know
African.
football, and you pick winners all the time. So why not get paid for them at MyBookie? Bet single game spreads, money lines, or parlay multiple. Do you do sports betting?
No.
Do these words mean anything to you?
No.
Single game spreads,
I know
money
what that
lines,
is.
or parlay multiple together.
Parlay is a combination of different bets to increase the odds. So if you
Like
get
a
all of the
S&P
bets,
500.
I know what a spread is, but
No.
what's a money? What's a money line?
money line is just to pick the winner outright.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So that's the simplest one.
yeah.
Interesting.
But you get the lowest odds for that.
Well, they got low contest entry fees and over $500,000 to be won. Make it so you don't have to be a pro gambler to have fun.
I tried to bet on a baseball game in Boston recently. You couldn't do it. Is it illegal?
I think you just have to do it.
No, they have
online.
gambling there now.
In Boston.
They have a win now in Boston. I went with Caleb when I was there in February.
It was a baseball game. Awful sport. Horrible sport
Baseball?
to watch. Oh my god!
It's nice
the
to
most
go
boring
to.
thing I've ever seen.
Really?
Oh,
You like
Nice to
baseball?
go to.
Fun hang, but
Yeah. You
watching
go,
this
that's what makes
actually-
it fun.
You're outside,
Holy
you drink
shit.
beer.
I mean, you wouldn't go to a baseball game by yourself and sit there with your fingers.
I saw
tented watching
I
the
saw
game.
people doing that.
Those men have a mental disorder.
Yeah,
I think
they're
they do. They were
autistic.
writing things down in a book.
We went to
Yeah,
what was
they're
it?
they're keeping score.
Yeah,
That's
what is
that's
that?
called.
We
Yeah.
remember we went to
It's
that Yankees game.
Yeah, the
There was
autistic
there was,
black
there was
guy,
this
yeah.
autistic black guy on the bus back.
Yeah, stop.
We saw an autistic black guy, and
Yeah.
the guy who opens for me goes, "That's employable man. That's the most employable man that's ever lived."
Stav was
Stav's
wearing an Orioles
he's wearing an
shirt,
Orioles
yeah.
shirt, and this guy's like, the Orioles.
June
They don't
1st
even-
through 3rd.
They don't play. They're
Yeah.
not playing. They're not playing the Orioles until. They're not a series against the Orioles until June 1st through the 3rd. You know.
He had like 7 backpacks.
And
Yeah.
watching like Stav doesn't have patience for regular people, but watching him try to interact with his fucking.
He just
And
laughed.
being like that. No, that's okay, buddy.
That
nice.
was a fun day. Oh yeah, Phil got us those tickets through Sony. Anyway, guys, mybookie.ag is
Getting started is easy. Just
Okay,
visit
go ahead,
mybookie.ag and use promo code Cumtown or Cumtown20 or TAFS or the Adam Friedland Show or whatever it is.
whatever. Figure it out.
On your first
You'll
deposit
get
to
a
secure
bonus.
a double deposit bonus. That's promo code, what I just
I'm
said.
gonna get a Tums.
To get your first deposit matched dollar for dollar all the way up to $1,000. MyBookie is a proven sports book that makes it simple to bet and win. So make this your winning season exclusively at MyBookie. That'll have to do. I'm too tired to inject.
How long have you
any-
guys been here?
been here today?
Yeah.
I was on the phone with my accountant all morning, and so I got here around noon.
Have you recorded a bunch of episodes?
No, I've just been doing like this shit and then slowly putting this all up. But I got just that pipe,
What's that pipe for?
hanging lighting.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, lighting is all the. I mean, we have to get like lighting guys in the DP in here, but they have like a specific way. All like this lighting equipment and shit, it was invented by like illiterate people 100 years ago. So like these stands and stuff, that was all, just some guy that came up with it. But that's the equipment that everything uses. So there's this strut channel up there. And the strut, you can do cool stuff with strut channel. Like you can put little trolleys in there and move stuff around, and you can clamp whatever to strut channel. But
Oh yeah, I've hung these for light fixtures in art galleries.
Yeah, but
you click them in
Nice.
and pull them out.
for film production, they need that pipe. So that gets clamped to the
Dude,
strut
we
channel.
went to the Tonight Show. We went to whatever. What is it? 30 Rock. Because
No, it's actually Adam Friedland show.
the Adam
I
Friedland
know
Show.
it looks a lot like.
Their ceiling, it was packed. Every single square inch had a different light on it, like a
Yeah.
different.
It's going to be like that here.
It was chaos. It was really cool, but it was nuts.
Yeah.
One of our buddies stood up and cheered for Mike and like busted his head hard on
Yeah.
one of the lights.
Well, that's
It was
what I
crazy.
want to do.
Mike
That's what I
who?
want to do.
Roland, my roommate.
I want to get like just
he
a
got
bunch.
it? He deserved it
It
or
was
no?
so.
He crushed
Yeah, he did great, but it's so weird going into those places because it's like
because Fallon's drunk.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, he literally came up to me and went, "Nice to see you again." And I was like, "No way, buddy." But
Damn.
nice.
That's alcoholism.
Yeah.
Dude, I can't
But
wait
he
to
felt
be
way
that.
more kindred than everybody else there was like
He's-
a bizarre.
People with dementia do that. My grandma does that. I see her. And I'm like, hey. She's like, yeah, sure.
I love that. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
My grandma was an absolute cruel, mean woman, and then she got Alzheimer's, and she became so nice. It was incredible.
Yeah, that's
She'd
the best.
just be
That's
like,
what I'm
"Have you
hoping for.
eaten? You look incredible."
That's all I
Yeah.
want.
She was like, "It's great to see you."
My grandma's been like drunk forever. So like, like I think somebody normal will get Alzheimer's and they're like, I used to run a business and now I have a diaper, and they're furious. It's like, did you see that movie, The Father? I actually hated it.
Was that Anthony Hopkins?
The Anthony Hopkins movie?
I didn't watch it.
I thought it was like, I mean, I guess it is probably an accurate portrayal of like bad Alzheimer's, but it's just like kind of a heartless movie.
Yeah.
It'd be like watching a movie called like The Burn Victim.
Oh,
and it's
I
somebody
see,
just
I
like,
see.
What's that?
for like 2 hours.
What's that documentary about that country music guy who's like starting Alzheimer's?
Yeah, Glenn. what's
Glenn
his name?
Campbell.
Glenn Campbell.
Yeah, it's sad.
And it like follows him around as he's
Dude,
getting.
yeah,
So
it's
sad.
as he's getting dementia. But what's crazy is like he doesn't. He's like introducing his daughter on stage, and
Yeah.
he can't remember her fucking name. And then,
jeez.
they put a guitar in his hands, and he's just going.
Crushes.
Like that's still there.
Don't you guys have that though with people now? I'll have that where somebody I know so well walk up to me and I'm like, surely your name isn't,
I don't know anyone.
Caterpillar.
I don't know.
Did you
anyone.
live in Nashville?
Yeah.
I see. They told me that when I didn't realize that.
You lived there?
For a year.
It's the worst place I've ever been.
Dude, it sucked.
Actually,
It's rough.
Portland's worse. I decided
Really?
worse.
East Nashville is where I lived, which is like where all the musicians and it's like the hipster part, which is fun. But if you go anywhere near the city, it's a
Dude,
nightmare.
you go to
I went down.
That's why I moved.
Santa's Pub?
That Broadway,
Yeah.
it was like
Best.
walking through it was like I had been in. It was like probably what Ground Zero was like in 9/11.
Yeah.
like
So
just
funny.
walking around. It's just fucking like the emotional equivalent of ashes filled with chemicals.
Did you
just
see
going-
the bombing site?
No, I didn't go to that.
There was I walked past it with Racine, but the bombing happened right outside of a Dick's Last Resort restaurant, which is very funny.
I'm walking down the street. I'm standing next to a souvenir shop and like a shitty barbecue restaurant, and then one of a million like live ass fucking music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like Mustang Sally blaring out of or whatever bullshit. And this guy with a fucking backpack on, I'm waiting to cross the street, and he comes up and he's like, "Here we go again." And I'm like, "I guess." And he's like, "Yeah, the party never stops." I'm like, just fucking stop. Just stop.
God, imagining you there is so good. I wish I was there.
Yeah, no, I don't know if I said it on the show, but again, it's an hour after that. They got those like pedal trolleys.
Yes, I know the pedal trolleys with
Yeah,
the
where
fat
they
girls
drink.
on them.
There was
Yes.
a crew of fat women in front of me with the dumb, Looney Tunes cowboy clothes on.
Yeah.
They're walking down the street. The pedal trolley goes by, and it's just fat boomers on the pedal trolley.
Yeah.
And these women, they're just wooing at everything. Woo! Just fucking me. And so they woo at the pedal trolley, and this like 50-year-old guy in gas station sunglasses and like the goatee, 90s goatee, looks over. He's like, "We from Florida, we know how to do this shit." And then there's this like brief moment in his face where it's like, am I just like
That's just a
humiliating
thing
myself?
to say.
Yeah, but no, it's fine because you're in Nashville
And
where
he's
everyone's
drunk.
everyone's this fucking embarrassing.
It's
Yeah.
crazy. I mean, I moved from there. The comedy scene is like too small, but also it's like it has all my best friends in that place, so it was hard to move. But it got to a point where it was like anytime we went out, it was like we were going to some honky tonk thing where all the women would dress up as prairie wives, and all the men would become miladies and like slick their hair back with like whatever that shit is called, Dapper Dan. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Pomade.
Yeah. And it was so gay. It was so cringe every time we left our neighborhood that I was like, I don't know how you guys are all. And people
Yeah.
would come up and be like, "Can I have this dance?" And you're like, "How are we?
Yeah.
The Civil War is over.
Right.
That's
What are we
nice.
doing here?"
Yeah.
No, it was
No,
bad.
that's how you treat a woman.
But then it's also too,
No,
it's like
nice, Jordan. Jordan, come on.
your soft
They're just
ASMR voice. Is
Jordan, they're just being.
no, it's brutal.
They're just trying to find love in
They
a
all have
hopeless
bandanas.
play.
How'd they get the most worn bandana
and
ever?
there's
Where
no
do you get those?
there's no like through line with the culture there because they're like they're like, "Ma'am,
Yeah.
I hope you're having a nice afternoon." afternoon, and then they're standing in front of like a Patagonia.
Yeah, they're an app developer who's
Also,
fucking wearing
this-
suspenders.
They were when I was there. They said post-COVID, it just got flooded with L.A., Chicago, and New York people
That's
in
what
Nashville?
in Nashville.
Oh,
But
yeah.
those
they all
aren't
moved
those
there.
aren't L.A., Chicago, and New York people, because L.A., Chicago, and New York people live in L.A., Chicago, or New York.
No, people that work remotely and don't want to pay state tax.
And then those people suck. They're people
Yeah.
that leave here because they're like, New York is
Doo-doo ass
New York
people.
doesn't have enough
Yeah.
souvenir shops and fucking
Yeah.
dumb clothes for me to put on.
Isn't Jack White?
I was
lives
about
there?
to say the worst part of Nashville is Jack White. He listens to this podcast.
You fucked him?
My friend that you met the other day.
Jack White
Harry.
is listening?
Mm-hmm.
No, not Jack White. Harry. I feel, but he and all my buddies have worked for Jack White, and it's like he is like the cringiest.
What are you talking about?
Doofus.
Have you heard Seven Nation Army is badass?
Listen, I loved White
That's
Stripes before I
badass.
moved there. Oh, one time I worked at a taco shop and he came up to the window and we were like, "We're closed, sorry." And he just stood in front of the window. I mean, just like waiting. And one of us had to go out and be like, "I mean, we really can't. We're not going to like fire up the ovens." And he like stormed off. He also is like, I don't know, has a monopoly on so much shit in Nashville that it's so strange. And didn't he like shit all over Detroit, but then like
He's
went
from
back?
there.
Yeah, but didn't he move and he was like, "Fuck Detroit," and then he like went back and like
I would
opened
if I was from Detroit, I would never turn my back.
Detroit's a cool city.
I wouldn't turn my you because if you turn your back, you probably get
And I'm
stabbed.
finally.
Come on.
I'm finally.
I'm sorry.
Come on,
I'm
Jordan.
sorry.
I'm finally a Chicago guy. Last time
No
I
way.
went.
Whoa.
I
No
loved it.
way.
Whoa.
I've been a bunch, but like the last time I went, I
No,
finally
that's-
Really? You don't mind musical comedy and people just the Cat in the Hat stepping on stage and being like, "Here's my
Well, maybe
political jokes."
I didn't see any of that, so maybe it
No,
wasn't.
it's just fat New York. It's
He-
just New York for fat people.
That would be good, but I
I'm
guess
being
I just
a bitch right now.
I would love it to be fat New York. That's ideal. I would love that. But this is like, I feel like Chicago has the gayest comedy I've ever seen in my life. I mean,
They
it's
used to have good comics. I mean, it was like a huge scene.
totally. But the alt doesn't have, it should be
Really?
segregated how it is in New York. It's very segregated.
I
You
guess
stay
I
at Union Hall.
I don't. I mean, I know the guys that would like. I just know fucking Kyle and Dan, the guys at Lincoln Lodge.
Wait,
Oh,
so
yeah,
you're
yeah.
talking about segregation in comedy. So you don't think black people and white people should be doing shows together?
I've been saying this since the 80s.
They
They run the
Miscegenation.
light. They run the light.
But they're doing well.
It is.
usually.
There almost is
They're
segregation
crushing
in comedy.
harder than you. And no.
There is like a no, but I do the alt comedy thing in Chicago where you can be have all these like traditional stand-ups and then all of a sudden somebody comes up with a guitar and it's awful.
Honestly, I'm a big comedy music apologist.
Are you really?
Yeah, it's funny.
Yeah, you're like a
If
nice
you write
guy.
if you write a funny song, it's funny.
Also, is there even that much musical comedy anymore? I feel like 10, 15 years ago, that shit was fucking everywhere.
When I was a kid, I liked Steven. What's
What
his
just
name?
happened?
Lynch.
What did you just do?
I have indigestion. I
Oh.
told you.
He's like, I really like Stephen Lynch.
I mean, I haven't been back to Chicago for a while. Maybe I should go. I also was roofing there when I lived there. I lived
Oh,
there for
okay.
3 months and I was in
You were
hell.
roofing?
I was roofing.
No, I had a couple of days where I just went for
It's
very
pretty.
long walks. Just
It's
cruising.
pretty.
Yeah, I went for a run there and I
Yeah.
remember being like, I'm on the beach. Now I'm in the residential. Now I'm in the city.
I
which is
wanted to
pretty cool.
walk to the bar from Thief, the bar that he owns where he takes phone
Oh,
calls.
cool. Yeah.
And then I couldn't. My phone died, so I couldn't make it that far. But
I can't stop thinking about the guy at the bar that you were talking about the other night with the sports thing. It's so funny.
Oh,
We were like,
yeah.
He was like, "Did you see that?" And he was like, "Yeah, totally."
What guy?
I don't even know if I should say it on the show, but me and Steven, like,
Oh yeah, you told me.
yeah, by
Yeah.
chance, meet, whatever.
That guy.
I can't just.
yeah.
It's just the idea of a person just like a liar, just like a just like
His explanation made sense, but it was just it was so funny in the moment. Yeah, I told Steven to meet me at we were like gonna go hang out, so I told him to meet me at Peter McManus on
yeah.
7th Avenue because it's over here. And Steven thought I said Peter McAnus,
Uh-huh.
and that I was like just making fun of Irish bars in general.
That's funny.
So it's like 20 minutes go by. I'm like, "Are you coming or not?" He's like, to wear. And I was like, Peter McManus. He's like, oh, I thought you said Peter McAnus.
No,
He's
that's
like, I
a
thought
Steve. No, that's a Steven.
So we meet there.
Where he's late and he's like doing a bit too many times.
We meet there, and I don't like. It's like somebody on like the Broncos or the Seahawks is named McManus.
Yeah, Brendan McManus, the kicker.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so Steven sees that, and he's like, "Did you fucking see that, dude?" I'm like, no. And then he looks over at this guy next to us. He's like, "Did you see that?" And this guy's by himself drinking, and he's like, "Yes, totally." And then Steven's like, "What's his name?" And he's like, I didn't catch it."
Dude, he is...
And I was like, that's an insane thing to lie
He is
about.
the absolute best guy to go to a bar with.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah.
Ever. That day where we went to International Bar in the middle of the day and we met that fucking union plumber and that cop, Steven was just like fucking on peak form.
Yeah.
He's incredible. I love that guy.
Have you met Steven? Our friend Steven.
He's our best friend.
Yeah. He's a good dude.
He looks like Sean Penn.
He looks exactly like Sean Penn.
And also the guy from what do you call it? That Rush. Geddy Lee.
Yeah, he looks like Geddy Lee and Sean Penn mixed.
Wow.
An ugly guy and a hot guy.
Bring him in
combined.
here.
Mm.
Does he edit for you guys?
Yeah,
Yes.
he does.
Yeah.
He does a thing where he thinks of a bit and then he says it 20 times.
Mm. And the bit is always like, let me ask you something. What if I started sucking guys' dicks?
Yeah. He's like, what do you guys
No, I mean
think
it, really.
if I downloaded the Grinder app and I started having gay sex with men?
So I've been thinking about downloading Grinder. If I did that, would that be weird?
Let me run this by you. I'm sucking a dick.
I already did it.
He's so funny.
But can I take it back?
When we were editing that episode of this show, there was a black guy on it, and he kept turning to me and being like, Adam, is it just me? Or does he sound exactly like a black guy?
That's good.
And he just said it 15 times. I was like, we have to keep editing, dude. Mm-hmm. I get it. Let's keep going.
Yeah. No, he'll say things that are funny, or he'll just be like annoying. Like he'll do something that's just like kind of annoying, and you don't think it's funny at the moment, and then you'll think about it later, and you're like, that's the funniest.
It's very funny.
I forget what it was, but I went to like, just a bar, and Steven had been there for hours, or like he got off work. And
he loves drinking.
He just gets drunk. He's drunk all the time. So I go to the bar and he's there, and I walk up to him and he does this like, oh yeah, I forget. I wish I could remember, but he just like has this like slack, like affect, and he's like, "Oh, give me some, brother." Like he does this like thing, like this, the most annoying, like fucking trying to be cool, boomer that thinks he's black sort of thing. "Oh, some, brother." And then Adam walks up maybe like 30 seconds later, and Steven's like, "Watch this." That's okay. He goes up to Adam and does it the exact same way. He's like, "Oh, give me some."
I've said this on the...
And I was like, what are you doing? And then the next day, I just couldn't stop laughing about it.
Yeah, watch this,
and
then Limp Man
You
is so
forgot what
funny.
the line was, though, and he was too drunk to remember.
I can't remember what it was, but it was something like, give me some, brother.
Yeah.
And it was just...
Which is something that you wouldn't remark on.
Yeah.
If you walked in.
But he knows what he's doing. He's like,
Yes.
just the idea of like a late 30s white guy, like
38.
38-year-old
Drunk.
white guy
Yeah.
drunk, like thinking he's a cool black guy.
He's the best. He was my neighbor in Bed-Stuy, and literally, like, he was like mayor of the block.
Mm-hmm.
Like literally everyone like that stood outside drinking would be like, "Oh, here comes Steven."
Yeah. Oh, there he is.
"Oh, there's Steven. Where you at, Steven?" And
well,
you'd be like dapping people up and pointing at them. And
like, really good to see you. To a guy with like gold teeth.
we were like outside one day, and some guy pushing a baby stroller wearing a mask outside comes up, and he's like, "Excuse me, are you an actor?" And Steven's like, "I've acted in some stuff." And he's like, "I actually just watched a short with you last night." And then we realized it was a fucking Superbad. It was Michael Cera. It was Michael Cera.
Oh.
And then and he was like, "Yeah, I thought you were really funny in it." And then he like left.
It's funny
with his
Adam
baby.
to do this like demeaning impression of Michael Cera.
It's not demeaning. He has a high pitched
Oh,
voice.
Michael Cera is the one who was saying this?
Yeah, Michael Cera said it's like LeBron is like, "Are you a basketball player?"
Real quick,
Yeah.
I should mention Blue Chew, and we'll get back to it.
It gets your dick hard. Jordan likes it when guys take it.
I don't like it. That's a
She
fake.
likes
oh,
it
no,
when
no.
guys-
Right. I
It's
should say
too
like
sharp.
It's too sharp, too pokey.
Yeah.
BlueChew.com, promo code CUMTOWN. You don't have to go to the doctor and tell a doctor that your dick doesn't work. You did that or Nick?
Me.
Yeah,
Sorry.
that's a guy thing.
Yeah.
A girl wouldn't do it.
I can do it.
Anyway, so like Sarah,
Just do it
Michael
to fuck
Cera,
up the reads.
Michael Cera walks off, and then like there's this lady on his block. I forgot Dina or I forgot her name, and she has like this pin on her jacket, "Blacks for Trump," and he's like, "Yo, you're not gonna believe this, but like Michael Cera just like asked me if I'm an actor," and she's like, "I don't know who that is." And he's like, do you know Scott Pilgrim? And she's like,
Oh my God.
and she's like, ooh, my boyfriend love him.
Holy shit.
It was
He
amazing.
sounds like he should do stand up if he's running bad bits over and over and
No,
over.
he's
He
not.
should.
He's too funny
He's
to do
more,
stand-up.
he's
Yeah.
more fun as like he's a guy that's like a funny guy to hang out with.
Yeah.
Stand up would make him less funny.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Stand up comedy is for the
Not
most part
funny.
not. It's like bridging the gap between
Yeah.
guys like that and then just fucking retards.
I bet he'd be good at it if you keep burying a.
There's no
No,
reason to
no,
be good at it.
no.
Yeah, there is no reason to be
You
good
know
at
what I
it.
mean?
Yeah.
It's fun to do that on stage where you just keep pushing
Yeah.
it. I went with an audience. I just kept trying to convince them my name was Scam Likely for the whole thing, and I wouldn't. They didn't like it at all, and I just kept being like, "I've been trying to get a hold of you guys for a really long time."
Scam Likely is like probably the name of like half the men in Nashville.
Yeah, totally.
How you doing?
It was-
My name's Scam. My name's Scam Likely.
You did that
Rascal.
at the world famous Comedy Cellar?
yeah,
You did.
yeah, I did.
Do you know who books it, or
Yeah.
could I send a
yeah.
tape? Or
Yeah. Send a tape to me and I'll send it over.
I would love to go there, have a bite of the pizza, not finish it, put it in garbage.
BlueChew.com is. Adam, why don't you talk about it for a second?
It's a place where guys, not me, but guys that have erectile dysfunction can order medication to make their penises hard.
But they don't call it erectile dysfunction anymore. That's for boomers who take Viagra.
What do they say?
If you're a millennial, or potentially the Zoomers might even be on dick pills now.
They are.
What's coming after Zoomers?
They are. I don't know.
Fucking babies.
My girlfriend's brother is 25, and he hit me up and was like, "Do you have any chews?" And I was like, "What? You're 25?
Do you even have fucking pubes, dude? Why are you taking Blue Chews?
No, I
At
don't.
25 years old. Not
I
you.
think you know what it is?
I'm the guy next to
You
you.
know what I
in
think
this.
it is? I don't want to be too 5G truther. It's
Yeah.
these damn cell phones in your pocket.
No, it's neuroses.
No, it microwaves your Jones.
No, I think it's just. I don't think people used to fuck as much as people do now.
No,
I know people have always
that's
thought
not
that.
true. People have stopped fucking.
I don't know. But
No, it's true.
I know. I think they would just make it count when they did it.
I've
It's
taken
like
Blue
Japan.
Chews, and it's like, I guess I need this, but then it's also like, do I even want to fuck right now? And it's like, no, not really.
Yeah.
Not in particular.
No, people are less horny.
Yeah.
That's why we have these mass shooters these days.
Oh, maybe it's the SSRIs.
They don't feel like they're part of a community. They're not going out to get pussy.
BlueChew.com, though.
Yeah.
If you do like sex, you'll love BlueChew.com. That's their classic line. They got Tadalafil, fucking Sildenafil, Vardenafil. They added Vardenafil.
Yeah, that's
the
Levitra.
Levitra.
Yeah.
And Staxin.
What's
Hard
that?
time taking pills. Up to 40% of Americans agree. I guess maybe they have another option now. Nope, this just links you to NIH. This just tells you how to take pills. Oh, no, it's because Blue Chew is chewable.
It's a
not a
candy.
It's a candy. They taste
Yeah.
like Smarties. 100% U.S. licensed
It's
medical
kind of a
providers.
blueberry flavor.
Prescription
Oh,
consultation, professional ED-focused medical support, no waiting rooms, no appointments. 30/45 milligrams sildenafil, 6 or 9 milligrams tadalafil, or 8 milligrams vardenafil, chewable tablets. They got 3 plans: the active, the busy, the popular, and the pro. And
I have the pro plan.
The active one is 6 times a month. Busy is 10 times a month. Popular is 17 times a month, and Pro is 34 times a month. So that's more than the days in the month, and you can get
That's
45
tight.
milligrams.
You think the guys who came quick are also the guys who can't get hard?
Huh?
Guys who used to come quick, you think they now can't get hard?
I don't know if that's related.
Well, that's
I think maybe the can't get hard guys last longer. No,
well,
the getting hard really
it
fast
just
guys
seems like
maybe
the guys
come
that
quick.
I used to fuck who would come really quick are the same type of guys that I fuck.
brag.
That can't, yeah. The troves of men that I fuck can't get hard.
Yeah.
It's the same. They're Jewish. It's mostly Jewish.
What do you mean? They can't get hard?
The ones who would come quick can't get hard.
You might
Yeah,
wanna-
there's like
you might
No,
wanna-
no,
You
no.
might want to mind that talk on this show.
there's a little neuroses.
First of all, we are disgusting, horny, lascivious monsters.
Yes, this is true. That actually
We
is
don't-
also true.
We don't have,
The fact that Harvey Weinstein's his genitals were burned off,
and he was
and
still
it's
trying to get pussy.
not only trying to get pussy, but raping.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like you got to be
Wait, his
spiritually.
genitals were burned off?
Yeah,
he would eat puss. He'd be
yeah.
like, come to my hotel.
He had-
So
What
he had-
happened to his genitals?
He got some kind of.
was getting-
Steven explained it to me actually.
he was getting too many experimental shots and stuff in his penis.
he graduated to like just like the injectable Viagra or whatever.
Wow. And it melted his dick off?
He got some infection that it's a type of gangrene you can get that'll.
I wonder if that's what the whole thing was behind Planet Terror, where, you know what I mean? Where
What's that?
Where Bruce Willis's dick melts off, the zombie.
I've never seen it. I don't like scary movies.
Oh, it's a great movie.
And what is that movie called? Die Not So Hard.
Yeah, nice, dude. nice, brother.
Very good.
Nice, brother.
And I'm retired.
Yeah. So, Jordan, you recently started fucking Chinese men.
I did, yes. Yeah, all right, well, let's get into it.
Mainland China or Taiwan?
I'm mainlining Chinese.
Yeah. And where do you stand on the Hong Kong issue?
The long dong issue, I'm in on it, dude.
Nice, bro.
Thank
Classic.
you.
She's a real pro.
That's right.
Hong Kong.
Yeah. Hong
What's
Kong.
going on in Hong Kong now?
Yeah, what is going on in Hong Kong? What's going on with who's burning these hijabs? What's going on? Iran?
Oh, but
What?
they're burning bride burning?
Hijabs?
Yeah.
What do you
Oh,
mean?
The women are burning them in protest. You guys don't know anything
I-
about this?
All I know right this week is the Nord Stream 2 pipeline.
No, I don't follow the girl news.
And the I only read economic news.
Yeah.
I don't either. My
We
mom
read
was talking
that.
about me and my mom recorded a podcast today. She accidentally said the N word for something. There's
Your
some
mom
Nice.
said that.
well, there's some word that has it in it that means like needling. I forget what the word was.
Niggardly.
Well, that means
No.
cheap, no?
No,
Yeah,
it's,
niggardly is like stingy. Yeah.
Yeah, stingy.
no,
There
but
was a politician who got in trouble for saying
There was a
that.
professor that got in trouble for saying it.
Yeah.
I remember it was like 50. It was before the world was
it
the way
wasn't
it is.
cheap. It was meddling. It was like,
Niggling.
yeah, maybe. I think it was that. And then, and we like paused and we're like, what did you say? And she went, I think I just said the N word.
Yeah.
And we
Is
just,
your mom's funny?
yeah, she's very funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All the
Very
stuff I know about her is very funny.
Well, every word is like some guy just said it at one point.
Yeah, yeah,
So some guy
totally.
was like, "Yeah, I got this fucking niggling thing in my knee,"
Yeah, yeah.
and somebody was like, "Oh, is that a word?" And he's like, "Yeah." And he's
Right.
like, were you just mean like the N word?" He's like, "No, it's different."
no.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like,
And then he's
okay.
got like a cousin at the dictionary, and he's like, "Bro, I need more. I need a solid."
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I got fucked up at work. The next edition. Hey, cousin Webster, I need some help here.
Renege, I thought that was was one of them, but it's not. That's renegotiate.
Oh, I never thought that.
No,
Not
there's another
even-
word
no.
that's like it. Somebody was screaming jigger when I was on stage the other night.
Why?
Well, I was in
Why?
Florida, and these people were 150,000 years old, and they were
Yeah.
shithoused. At one point, I said to that guy, I was like, what's going on with you, dude? I was like, what, did they let Biden in here? And the crowd erupted in
Yeah.
a way that, like, shocked me because of how
Yeah.
dead they had been. Yeah, it was...
In New York?
Fuck him! Fuck him
In
for being
New
the
York?
same as me, basically.
Key West.
In
Key
New
West.
York? Oh,
Yeah.
Key West.
Yeah.
That's so sick. What's it like down there?
Just a great place, the worst audiences, but great.
Really?
Yeah, yeah, it rules.
Jimmy Buffett vibes.
Tommy Bahama
It's like you want to
style.
kill yourself, and there's an iguana
Yeah.
also hanging himself next to
yeah.
you. That's what it's like.
That's what they say in Key West. You want to kill yourself or just wait 5 minutes?
Yeah.
'Cause we're pretty close to death down
Mm-hmm.
here. Adam, are you going to be a Florida guy?
I want to move to Miami so bad.
Do you?
Yeah, I love it.
I'm never gonna leave this.
It's my favorite city in America by far.
Miami.
Really?
Yeah,
Why?
it's great.
What about it?
I like that it's built. It's a Catholic and Jewish city, much like Montreal.
Yeah, that sounds great.
What do you mean?
I'm sold. If I'm planning a vacation,
Okay,
I'm like,
that shouldn't have been the first fact. That should have been the first fact.
what do I like about this place? Well, it's Catholic and Jewish.
What's wrong with that?
It's just a bizarre.
It is. Yeah, it is.
That's
Jordan, are you Catholic?
No.
You're not?
Uh-uh.
You might be my only non-Catholic or Jewish friend.
Really?
Yeah.
No.
And it's not on purpose.
We weren't allowed to have Christmas trees.
You're that?
Yeah, I am.
No, but like your like you're like the old.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they're Catholic.
They're
of course.
Italian. Yeah, they're
of
very
course. Of
Catholic.
course.
Why is your family not allowed to have Christmas trees?
Because they were like militant. My dad was like a hippie, and my mom was a lesbian.
But that doesn't mean you're not I'm.
Yes, you're right.
Okay, so
Catholic.
what I'm saying is, and it's not on purpose. All the people I'm friends with are either Catholic or Jewish.
As opposed to what? Lutheran?
Yeah, like
Proper
Mormons
or American.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
the Anglo-Saxon
Yeah,
Protestant.
proper American.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mormons.
I mean, most of this country is Protestant.
Mm-hmm.
I grew up with a ton of Mormons.
Did you really?
Yeah.
I keep laughing to myself about a joke I tried where my mom wanted to be Mormon, or
Uh-huh.
she wanted to be Amish, really, and I think it's because
Your
she wanted
racist lesbian
she wanted
mother.
multiple wives, so she was like more man, more like more woman.
That's funny.
Yeah, thank you.
What is it with their like commitment to having the worst facial hair in the world?
Mormons?
No, the Amish.
Oh,
They
I
just
know.
don't shave. Do you know zippers?
Yeah, but
are
they just
high-tech?
go the full. You could have if they had the mustache, it wouldn't be that weird.
But they're patchy. They're basically British people.
No, German.
They're Dutch. Yeah, they're German.
Yeah, Dutch, German,
Pennsylvania Dutch.
You've never seen a
Yeah, Dutch and German.
thick. Oh, yes, you have.
Yeah, the British love technology. They would never do something like the Amish.
Yeah. We're
I love
Anglophiles and Zionists on the show now.
The British will never reach equilibrium with the world around them.
The British?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Well, you wouldn't have a community of British people that are like, oh, we're good. We're not going to, take up any more resources or...
Those are our cousins, man.
What do you mean?
The British.
Okay. I'll lay off them. Sorry.
Yeah. Give them a break.
I will. I'll give the British a break. They've had a hard year.
I know. I miss her. She was beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
She
But
was
this,
gorgeous.
and this other guy's going to die.
Charles?
Probably immediately.
Oh no.
And then who becomes king? Harry?
No, the other one, William.
William.
But I'm all in on Charles, dude. Let's
Really?
go, Chuck. Let's go. No, I don't care. My dad is like low key a royalist.
I don't understand the royalists. I don't understand what is
Well,
the
he was
appeal?
like born when he was born. I think it was
you run out of TV shows.
when he was born. I think it was still part of the British Empire in South Africa.
It is cool that England has a king again, though.
Yeah, thank
Yeah,
God.
finally.
Well, we
Thank
had
God. Our
if you
national
look at it-
nightmare's over.
Well, no, it's like, this all of this progressive stuff tracks when you got like the head of state and like in the country that basically their culture was exported to the rest of the world. They might not be a superpower anymore, but now that they have a king, if everything has a cultural basis.
It's so funny that
Then maybe.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, maybe now things become more reactionary, more traditional. Women aren't allowed to work.
The boys are
anymore.
back in town.
Literally, yeah. That
Hell
might
yeah.
happen.
Let's go, Charles.
Yeah.
No, it's so funny that those guys on that shitty island, those pasty, like weird guys, literally owned everything.
It is
They
bizarre.
own the entire world.
But a lot of the stuff they owned was like mostly empty. Before
India?
Well,
That's like
Australia.
the most people.
Australia.
They own the entire
What?
planet.
How did they take
Yeah,
over?
how did they do that?
Boats.
No, but what
Navy.
happened? Did India have?
They master and commandered it.
Well, that was after the Napoleonic Wars, and then they didn't do anything. Like Britain had.
Weren't they just sick at boats?
It was kind
Yeah.
of the British Navy that I get from watching from the first 30 seconds of Master and Commander.
So fire, dude.
Yeah.
Who crossed the Rubicon? Was that Napoleon? Who
No,
did
that's
that?
Hannibal.
Jeep.
Oh, maybe Hannibal.
Was that right? I don't even know. No, Caesar.
And then what happened? How
Caesar
do we
did that.
And then what's in
Dude,
between
I'm
there?
so stupid.
Me too. I've tried
But
to.
being
I've read
with
about
a
this
woman
1,000
makes
times.
me
I can't
feel
do it.
really smart.
Yeah,
You
it
probably
helps.
don't know
just
shit.
the fact that I'm here.
You don't know shit.
Just the
You're
proximity.
you're just in bed with a Chinese guy, like fingering his chest, being like, "So tell me about math." He's like, "Well, you got a 1, a 2."
Oh, fingering his chest just
Yeah.
made me want to faint. Just hearing
Why?
those words. I don't know.
Jordan,
It grosses me out.
Jordan.
Fingering his chest.
Jordan.
And then they got this other shit called long division. You draw a little L shape. You put a big number underneath. You fuck with the smaller one. Yeah, it's pretty complicated, but to me, it's like fucking.
You're going into Cholo. You're going into Chinese
They got a
Cholo.
similar. That's the East Coast Cholo, is New York Chinese guy.
That's so good. Keep doing it.
Okay. Pretty nice weather we have lately, huh? Pretty cool weather. It's finally fall in New York City.
Okay.
When fall comes around, you know what I'm ready for? Wearing the same bubble vest I've been wearing all fucking year long and playing mahjong under the laundromat.
They also love fishing stuff. They
Yeah.
love like tackle vests.
Yeah.
How do you have like Chinese like twang in the back? How do you keep that?
Because I lived with those guys
Yeah,
for years.
Nick was thinking about converting for a while.
Yeah, they all dress like John Malkovich in Empire of the Sun. That's their look.
Okay. Oh my God. You have the like Chinese going up and down. What is Thai?
Yeah,
Thai
my
has
number
that a lot.
one, my number one guy is John Malkovich in Empire of the Sun. You ever see? That's a good fucking movie.
Dude, I just watched Rush Hour again. Rush Hour is a great.
Incredible.
And
It's
Christian
so
Bale,
good.
Christian Bale, little boy in that movie.
Incredible.
Christian Bale's in that movie?
Yeah,
Why
it's
can't-
him as like he's
Yeah.
like 12 or 13.
He's handsome.
Really?
He's a handsome child. Yeah, why can't all movies just be Rush Hour? Just two guys
so
of different
good.
races trying to figure something out.
When he's
Yeah,
like,
there you go.
Chinese
This
people
is- that's
always
how they
keep
look.
their cool.
That's how they dress.
And Chris Tucker's like, I've seen y'all during Godzilla. Y'all be tripping. What is this?
That's John Malkovich in Empire of the Sun. That's how those Chinese
Oh,
guys
no, that's like Korean.
are.
No. Korean is like, has like an 80s synth
Mm-hmm.
thing. I like the Korean guys. Sometimes they just hang out
They're
together smoking
pissed.
cigarettes. They're awesome.
They love bogeys. They love busting cigs.
Yeah.
They're so good.
In my college, like outside the library, it was just 24 hours a day Korean dudes smoking cigs.
Yeah, there's always some neon light
Yeah.
behind them or something, some like fog machine near them with like a cool scooter.
Yeah.
They always look really cool.
You know what? The best thing that ever came out of the old podcast. You know, like I said, I got a lot of advice. But
What's that?
But there was a movie I saw one time as a kid that had one scene in it, and I'd never been able to find the movie again. But it was like seared into my memory. It's this like it's like a South African movie, and a kid gets like put in some kind of like camp, and then he gets pissed on or whatever by other people. And
The
I remember
Adam Friedland movie.
fucking me up as a kid. And then I was like, I couldn't remember the movie. What it
Someone
was.
found it?
Somebody found it and sent it to me.
You know
The Power of One.
Oh yeah, that was about like racism, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. The best thing that came out of the old podcast for me, during COVID, I went home because my mom was dying, and we did video podcast, and I would do in my dad's office. There was a picture of his father's older brother who died in the Second World War, like his
Okay.
like military photo. And Nick's like, who's that fucking gay, you know, whatever. And I was like, that's probably the only hero that's ever been in my family tree. But he was like shot down by the Nazis over Crete. And I was like, some guy looked up his records. Like it was all family legend. And we didn't really know what the story was. Some guy that was listening to the pod looked up his records. And like for the first time in my dad's entire life, my dad was named after him. It's my father's namesake, Max Friedland. But we saw where he was stationed. We saw when he was shot down.
Don't condone this.
Why? It was nice. It's lovely.
Oh my God.
That's like
so
a lovely
scary.
thing for my entire family. My dad was like, isn't that incredible? He's like, Adam's podcast. Like
And
literally,
his phone's ringing, and somebody's like, "Hey, faggot."
hey, you're gay, dude.
You're gay.
Your son's gay.
Your
Big
son's gay, but
landline.
you're-
Cling.
yeah.
Hello, you're fag.
You're even gayer than your gay son.
No, I don't like that. I mean, that's great, but I hate. Somebody was like, "Is your father Jack Jensen?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he was like, "Oh, so he died at this time on this day in this way," and it was just like a fan.
Is that
And
the
I was like,
acoustic,
The shoe black guy?
acoustic guitar guy, Jack Jensen?
No.
Jack
Johnson.
Jack Johnson. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. My dad is Dave Matthews.
That's cool.
Oh, I can see that.
Yeah, I really love Dave Matthews.
Oh, your dad has a British accent.
My dad's from South Africa.
South Africa.
Oh, he is South African.
But he
African.
code switches.
Does he really?
When he's like, wants people to take him seriously, he does like a fake posh British accent. And it literally like is like nails on a chalkboard. It drives me insane.
Really?
He's like, my good sir.
Oh, wow.
It completely changes his accent. I'm like, you're at the bank right now. You don't have to be doing this right now.
He thinks that people, South African
he thinks that
like
people in America
what's going to happen at the bank?
That.
They're like, here's some more money.
Yeah.
Like
I didn't realize you were British.
But that's not him code switching. Code switching is like switching your voice. I mean, that's
I know.
That's
but
literally doing an impression.
He has a fake posh accent that he affects sometimes, and he was doing it at my birthday party. Do you remember?
No.
I like heard him like start popping off in his like Etonian British thing, and I was like, I hate this so much. And all my friends are like, you're the fucking man, dude. He was like getting wasted with all the fellas.
That's the worst when your dad becomes like a caricature. We had a party where my dad got way too high, and people were just like, your dad rules, and I'm like, he's having a panic attack.
No, it was actually like that night was like one of the most lovely nights.
Yeah, it's good.
All my friends were being so nice to him.
That's great.
What if somebody's going to be mean to a senior citizen?
No one in this country understands him. And it was like the first time I saw people like just being like, you're the man. And it was like, it broke my heart to even like think about it. I had to like, he came to the club, he came to the bar after I like set up a hang at the apartment, and I was like, we'll go to the bar later. You'll go back to the hotel. And he came through the bar, and he was like drinking with the boys.
Just grabbing hands.
Yeah.
Just shake. That's great.
It's a beautiful story.
Yeah, it was really lovely.
Did he code switch the whole time, or did you drop
the late Jack Knight also said "suck my dick" to him, which was very funny. My dad,
his last word.
And my dad started laughing in his face. He's like, "That's good. That's good. That's quite good."
I was thinking about the Jack Knight thing and how everybody was getting mad because people were making these posts, and they're like, "He wasn't even friends with him. He wasn't even friends with him." And I was like, "That is the most evidence that I have that human beings are inherently evil. The fact that people post things and we're like, that's my fucking corpse. That's my dead guy."
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I
do the same thing.
Someone dies and people post their last text messages with them.
Oh yeah.
Brandon Wardell did that with Mac Miller. He was like, "Love you, dog." I mean, it's touching, I guess. Maybe.
I did that with Anthony Bourdain. I posted. We never communicated, but he followed.
He followed you on Twitter, yeah.
And so I posted that. I was like, none of you will ever know what this feels like. Now he's done following. He'll never follow anyone else again. So if you weren't in the club,
yeah,
sorry,
yeah.
Guess who's never going to be followed by Anthony Bourdain? You. But I was until Twitter deleted my account.
The day he died, did you wait a day?
Huh?
Did you wait a day?
I think I did it immediately.
Yeah,
that's so
totally.
funny.
Yeah, I don't care.
I was telling you about that comic who died where I didn't know who it was, but I kept saying his name over and over in my house, Raghav.
I
couldn't stop.
He's got a funny name.
My roommate would walk in, I'd be like, "Oh, Raghav Mehta?" Then they'd be like, "What?" And I'd be like, "I'm hungry." And then he died, and I was like, did I?
I feel bad, but you remember those 4 comics died of fentanyl in LA?
Yeah.
And then people were like, four comics have died. And I was like, they weren't that popping. Like they weren't. And then I was like, oh God, I'm an asshole.
Who'd you say that to?
Maya's parents said that to me. They were like, I heard 4 of your friends died.
You didn't regret it enough not to repeat it.
Yeah, say it on the show. Thinking that it would pop here.
Can you cut that? Can you please cut that?
Sure.
It's the Adam Friedland show. What's the timestamp?
Yeah.
108.
Sure.
No, come on, Nick.
Hey, no problem, pal.
All right, I'll say it again. They were not popping enough.
Yeah.
To have news stories.
I mean, you're not wrong. Look, here's my role.
Yeah.
Is then I say, Adam's completely right. They weren't popping. Fuck them. I'm glad they're dead.
Yeah.
Now I've provided cover for them.
Thank you.
Nice.
Nick.
Good
I don't have
job.
to edit anything.
No,
and people already hate me. So.
I said it to my girlfriend's parents, and I felt terrible afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
What, did they just go quiet? They didn't say anything? Yeah, that's a horrible thing to say to Big Natural's parents.
Yeah. Her parents didn't like me.
They did like you.
No, you said they were worried about me.
They were worried about you.
I don't know why.
Well, because it was post-COVID. You were like,
oh yeah, I'm like,
you
I'm
had
not
muscles,
wearing a fucking mask.
You had muscles and like a 22-inch waist and a fucking beard, like a ZZ Top beard.
There's no reason.
And you're like,
you're describing all the reasons to not be worried about me.
and then you were like, yeah, I don't fucking wear a mask. And they're like lib
In their house.
They're like
Yeah.
lib New York parents where they're like, oh, your friend is interesting.
Yeah, I was like,
Yeah.
I was just trying to fuck around with them. I was like, yeah, I don't think this shit's real anyways.
Dude, there's a guy wearing a mask at the show at Friends and Lovers I was just at. And I was like, what are you doing? He was like, what are you doing?
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, what do you mean? He was like, I'm wearing one because nobody else is.
Yeah.
And I was like, forever?
Somebody
When is it?
needs to pull the mask people aside, and you're like, this is going to be remembered how racism.
No, I
was.
did it at Funny Moms.
Is you're basically a guy in 1957 being like, get on your side of the diner.
Yeah.
It's over.
I did
It's
it
over.
at
It's too
Funny
late.
Moms, and it backfired so bad.
What'd you do at Funny Moms?
Some guy was wearing like an N95 in the front row. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
you're at the Racism Podcast live comedy show, wearing an N95 in the front row, and he was like,
I'm immunocompromised. And
no,
then
he was
you're
like, no, he was like, my mom is dying of cancer right now.
done.
And I was like, oh, sorry.
Yeah.
I
Well, you
bet
should have been like, oh,
And
well,
you
my
weren't a
mom's
real-
already dead.
Yeah, my mom already died of brain cancer,
Yeah.
and she was beautiful.
Did you say that? Did you throw it back at him?
Yeah, of
Yeah,
course.
you got to
Yeah.
do
yeah.
it.
Yeah, I was like, stop bragging. about
This
you're
guy didn't
alive,
have an
Mom.
excuse. He was just like, I'm not getting into this with you right now. That's what he said while I was on stage.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, all right, you don't have to. I'm going to get into it and just lay it into him.
Yeah.
I mean, some people have just made it there.
I feel bad about saying that about the dead people.
I honestly, I kind of feel like bad for them because it's like, I guess I'm certain some people are like immunocompromised and they need the mask or whatever. But if you're just like a regular guy, I mean, there's no way you haven't gotten COVID already, and
Yeah.
you know it's just.
He said he hadn't gotten it, and that's why he's still wearing the
Oh,
mask.
well, maybe then.
That's pussy.
But
And also, everyone who's died from it is a coward.
regardless of like what side.
I also
however you
feel
felt
bad about saying that.
about COVID or lockdowns or any of this shit. It's like everybody had to deal with it for 2 years. You were subjected to the reaction to COVID.
Yeah.
Either you were locked inside worried about the virus, or you were locked inside thinking your rights were being taken away, or whatever it is.
Nick went full prison. You were doing handstand push-ups.
Yeah.
You converted to Islam.
We all went full prison
Yeah.
during the COVID. Oh my God. I was in the park every day jump roping.
No, I ignored it.
Oh, you got in jump rope? I got in jump rope
jump
too.
roping is the best.
Did
You feel like
could
have
you
to-
do the cross?
Yeah, I learned the cross.
Yeah, it's awesome.
It's
Once you learn how to
so-
do skips and lacrosse, and you don't look like a fucking dumbass jump roping.
Yeah, it took a while.
Is
though.
it good for your core?
It's good for everything.
Yeah, it's good for everything.
How do I
It's
fix
good
my
cardio.
posture?
You stand up straight.
Yeah, it's
I
hard.
can't.
That's the thing. People with shitty posture be like, I think I need to go to a chiropractor. It's like, no, you're just lazy.
Yeah.
You're just not standing up straight.
You need like a stronger stomach. or
no,
something,
you need,
no?
and you get that by standing up straight. You just.
Every time you look at your phone, you have to like hold it up so that you're. Because if you do this, I put a thing on my phone that says up straight. That reminds me to.
I always
sit up
hold
straight.
my phone up.
I do this thing.
I always say
where
like,
I
oh, it's a
cover my-
text. It's a text from John Hill. It's
What I
actually
do-
a very
Hold it up
important
to
text.
everybody.
everyone-
You don't even face it
It's
towards
actually
your
a,
face.
yeah, it's actually a Hollywood celebrity. It's Michael Cera.
Yeah.
No,
I to help my posture every night for like 2 hours, I'll fasten a noose to the ceiling, and then every day I let a little bit more weight off the stool in an effort to strengthen my neck in the event that I'm ever captured and they try to execute me by hanging. I'll have developed the neck strength that
to survive
it'll have no effect.
a lynching.
So I'll play dead until the posse leaves, and then cut myself loose.
Yeah,
And then go
That's
off
badass.
to rape in another town out here in the Wild West.
You'd have to be tightening your neck, so you'd just be hanging there like this. And they're like, I think he's dead. That's good.
That would be pretty cool.
Yeah, to be able to train yourself to do that.
Yeah,
To Wim Hof. To
Yeah.
Wim and also Hof.
I love
until you
Wim
can-
Hof.
Yeah, Wim
his
Hof
shit
is the best.
Wim Hof is it's such bullshit.
Yeah,
it's like
he's
so
a-
obviously.
he's a grifter. Yeah,
I mean, cold showers are nice. Like you do get like
you're into it.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I am a cold shower guy, but like the breathing shit, you just like create like you
You
just get yourself
panic.
high.
Yeah,
Yeah, you just
totally.
get yourself high off like the way a child would. You're playing like the knockout game,
Yeah,
or
yeah,
the,
yeah.
the choking game or whatever. And then there's all these people that have died doing it because they'll like hyperventilate in the bathtub and then pass out and
Really?
fucking drown. Yeah, and but then you watch his videos and it's like, man, this guy just loves life.
Yeah.
Honestly, he's not a grifter. He's
he's like a self-help guy.
But he's a self-help
he's
guy.
He's like selling shit.
Sure. Well, he's not selling shit. I don't know.
Yeah, he does like seminars where people do his stupid haka dance.
I guess, but is that so much worse than stand-up comedy?
No, it's much better.
Yeah,
you make people feel better.
Yeah. I don't know. I like him.
We love it in our house. We walk in and we're like, "Are you Wim or are you Hoff? Are you Wim and also Hoff? Were we Wim and Hoff?"
Would you fuck Wim Hof?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll fuck anything. Have you met me?
You'll fuck anything?
Yeah.
Really?
Except for Asians and black people. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What are you talking about? I thought you recently started
fucking Asian people.
I don't fuck anybody.
You know who has really good posture? Like gay guys under 40.
That's because they always have a look of shock like this. So their head's always back.
They always have incredible posture.
Yeah.
Gay guys, like old gay guys, always have like my kind of posture.
That's
They're
like,
always like decrepit.
that's like, you ever see old black women on the train and their eyebrows are always up in a look of just shock? So no matter what happens, they already have their face like, that's some bullshit. You know what I'm talking about? Like this, up. I have stared at women on the train and I'm like, what? What are you possibly so appalled at already?
Yeah.
And then something happens and they're already up and I'm like, you're just prepared.
Yeah.
But gay men are like that too. They just always have this look of like, what are you? You know what I mean? Like they're already offended.
You know what I didn't understand is when, and it's gone now. It doesn't exist anymore. But when people had the wired Apple headphones. Mm-hmm. Remember the ones? Like the AirPods with the wire?
Yeah, 2 days ago, yeah.
Yeah, a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Every gay guy would take phone calls on those fucking iPods or whatever the fuck, the earbuds, and they would with one hand hold the microphone part,
yes.
and with the other hand their gait would change, and the other hand would start swinging wildly.
Yeah.
And they all did it. Every single one of them be like, so we're meeting Eric at lunch at 3, and they all had the same exact. They would all hold it the same way, and it's like there's got to be. It's like that's where I get into like this is all just a hologram.
Simulation. Yeah.
There's too many just.
Well, I was on the train and I saw 3 people, one homeless, basically homeless, like all different types of people, all reading sci-fi novels. Mm-hmm. And I was like, this is crazy. I haven't seen a book on the train in years.
Dude, yeah, there's all this.
That doesn't sound
Not
so
only
crazy.
that night.
It was
like,
crazy.
You
were this close to each other.
That sounds just
it wasn't even on the whole train. It was my side of the train. It was 3 dudes.
The rest of that story was Steven at the bar. Like, I mean, you know the rest of the story.
Crazy.
But all the other coincidence, who that guy turned out to be, then the other guy we talked to afterwards, and like, you know, I don't know. It was like we have a group chat that's me, Adam, and Steven, and some other guys, and our friend Alex asked, like, what music do I ask for going on stage? You know, because I was going to Nashville. And I never, you know, I just let the DJ pick. And then I just was like, maybe I'll do Mexican radio. Do you know that song?
I love that song. I was just listening to it when I pulled up here.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, it's right here.
Well, this is what I'm talking about.
I don't like this shit.
Because I said maybe I'll do Mexican radio, and I have not heard that song like on the radio or anywhere other than me just choosing to listen to it myself throughout my life, here and there.
Wait, is this the same one?
By Wall of Voodoo?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
What? I literally I listened to it a lot.
Well,
She's
hold on.
lying.
So,
no, it's right there.
No, you're lying.
anyways, I said that, and like, you know, I haven't heard, and then on the lift back to the airport, it's just on the fucking radio. And so like a record, and I asked the lift driver, I'm like, is this just terrestrial radio? He's like, yeah, it's like Bob FM or something. And I sent it to Steven. He's like, yeah, I haven't heard that song in 25 years. But then again, I'm not listening to the radio. Maybe fucking Mexican radio is on the radio constantly.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think so.
Yeah, the cab driver, he didn't know the song.
Yeah, I've shown it to people because I really like it, and nobody knows what it is.
The album's great.
Come on, everybody, at your show, there's like a trance.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's trance, electronic music that I went to go see in Montreal, and I always start listening to it around a time where I'm like,
oh, trance music.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
thought you
Music.
said there was a trance.
no, we know about her, yeah.
Yeah.
And I think she fucked my friend.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? What was the
Man, it's a man.
nice?
Ian?
No, but a man very similar to Ian, actually.
Interesting. This is what I mean about coincidences.
Yeah.
If I described Ian to
I don't
you,
like this
you would never be
coincidence
like, oh, there's got to be 2 guys like that.
No, but my buddy Peter, very similar, actually. And I think he fucked that lady. She's
Interesting.
gotten
Whatever.
nicer to me over the years. Anyway, it was
She
just
is nice.
playing.
She's
and
very
She's
nice.
great.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
love her. Yeah.
She used to be cold to me, but
Yeah.
Well, you know, it's a shit job.
yeah.
Probably. I don't
Especially
know. I can't-
bartending for art fans.
I had an altercation with that same
The
person.
same. Yeah, I haven't been back since.
Yeah.
Honestly.
She's a bitch.
That was fucking wild, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just insane.
She was hiding in a corner, and I walked in, and she goes, "Excuse me, can I see your ID?"
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, "You were literally stuffed into a corner,
Yeah.
like basically hiding under a coat."
It's like, look, you became a security person because you're fucking like insecure about being this little like fucking just like pug of a lesbian.
No one knows.
So
what
no,
we're
you're never
talking
gonna,
about.
you know, like you're never gonna like nobody's gonna be like, oh, I'm afraid of this person. You know what I
A
mean?
lady security guard for
Yeah.
the audience tried to check Nick's ID, and he's like, "I'm here all the time."
No, that's not what happened. And again, I didn't see her. I didn't think they had a fucking door person. So I went
She's
in.
not by the door.
She's not by the door. She hides.
Yeah.
And then so I went in the showroom. She comes out and she's hitting me.
Yeah,
And I turn around. I'm
She
like,
pushed me. Also,
yeah. I was like, what's up? And she's like, didn't you hear me calling you? And I'm like, no. Maybe you should speak. Like, I didn't say this, but it's like literally, no, I didn't hear you.
Yeah.
So you're bad at your job, you know. And I was like, I didn't realize I had a door person. I'm sorry, but I'm like, I run the show. I'm like here all the time. And then she's like, well, you got to pay better time. I'm like, okay, I'm sorry. And then I turn around and we get ready to do the show. And then like 5 seconds after that, she hits me again, even harder. She's like, did you hear what I just said? And I'm like, okay, well, what needs to happen here? Do you need me to see my ID? And I like pull my ID out. She's like, okay, first of all, you need to calm down because like, you know, you don't want me to get angry because then we're going to have a problem. I'm like, and then what's the problem going to be? You're going to kick me out? What do you want to do? And then she's like, yeah, get out. And I was like, okay. And then I fucking just walked and I told the guy that take like the box office guy. I was like, yeah, well, they're bouncing me, so I'm leaving.
I got a taxi driver. I get into a taxi the other day at the airport, and he's like, "Where are you going?" And I was like, "You should just hand me your phone now because you're not going to know where it is." And he was like, "Where is it?" And I was like, "It's Flatbush." And he was like, "Where is that?" And I was like, "It's Brooklyn." And he was like, "What street?" And I was like, "Rugby." And he was like, "Where is that?" And I was like, "Dude, give me your phone." And I put it in, and then I fall asleep in the cab, and I wake up to him smacking the back of the seat, like just hitting it. And I was like, "What, dude?" And he was like, "We have to take, it's telling me now to take this exit." And it was telling me to take this exit. And I was like, "I don't know, man. I'm not a fucking taxi driver." And he's like, "I know you're not a taxi driver, but it's telling me to take this exit." And I got so mad. I was like, "I didn't move my house."
And then you fucked him?
No, I didn't fuck that guy. Not that one got away.
Yeah.
But I have been like openly being like a woman at the movie theater the other day was like, "Those are our seats." And she was half an hour late. And I was like, "Hey, you came in here half an hour late. You can sit in our seats."
Yeah.
And she was like, "Oh, okay." And my friends were like, "What's wrong with you?" And I was like, what do you want me to say?
You're a New Yorker now.
You have to.
I remember Lewis I wish I could remember what movie it was. It was so absurd, but he got into a fight with somebody at the what is it, like the AMC in Kips Bay or something.
Lewis?
Yeah, and it was like, I forget, it was so funny because the movie, it was like so not worth it, whatever the movie was. It was bullshit too. He's like, this bitch and her girlfriend are like, this bitch and her girlfriend are like laughing or something. Like he's like mad for some Lewis reason. I wish I had like a little coffee table book of things Lewis has gotten mad at and caused a problem over. The best of all of them was when he called up. No, not quitting Equinox is pretty fucking funny. That's up
very
there.
funny.
But the very best is when he called up. There was a Build-A-Bear that was in like fucking like Palisades Mall or something, and he went there to take James there to like go get a bear or something, and it was closed. It was out of business. So he calls up a different Build-A-Bear to yell at them about the other one being fucking closed, and it's like, there's nothing they can do about it. They're just employees of like a fucking Build-A-Bear.
Yeah, it's a guy that works
pointless.
And then he'll relay these stories as if it's like, you know, you're being like, yeah, you did the right thing.
Yeah, you can't do the pointless. You have to say it so that it'll change their life.
I know there's a lot of people mad at me. They're like, well, that's what you did with the security guard. No, I wasn't.
Yeah, you did.
And I said, if you want to kick me out, you can. And I left.
I did a fake apology.
What do you mean?
I said he's really sorry.
Yeah, that's the other thing too. They had the venue ask me. They were like, it would really mean a lot to us if you.
That doesn't make any sense. I don't understand. It's a hired security guard. I don't understand that.
I think maybe they had other problems with the security company, and that's why that lady's there. Is because like
No, I think she was asked not to come back.
Well, she's there. Obviously,
she's there. That's why I was there. Yeah, screaming at me, freaking out.
It's after midnight right now.
Oh my god! I have an early flight. I have to go.
I have to fly to LA tomorrow.
Oh yeah, we're good on time here, so we'll just.
We had fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had fun.
Good night.
Good night, folks.